Come with us as we explore an abandoned 13th century Gothic church known to many as the Demon Church.
The church is hidden away deep in the heart of the Lincolnshire wolds. This building is known as a location where Satanists gather for satanic rituals, and evidence of animal sacrifices have been discovered inside of a huge pentagram drawn onto the floor, along with animal remains and bloodstains.
Eyewitnesses say that they have seen a monk that wanders endlessly around the graveyard, while others say that unexplained chanting can be heard when nobody else is around.
Welcome to the Demon Church. Hey guys, welcome to another video, and keeping in theme with the spooky season being right upon us now, today has brought us deep into the heart of Lincolnshire to do some urban exploring in one of the creepiest, spookiest churches that I have ever seen in my life, and it's right behind us.
I've actually been here before, but Ace hasn't, so I really wanted to bring him because it's just such a cool place.
Honestly, I'm glad you did, because I've never seen anything quite like this. It's literally a church in the middle of nowhere, and when we say the middle of nowhere, nothing but fields. You wouldn't even know there was going to be a church here. There's no road to it. There's a smallest little dirt path which leads to the front gate, and that is it. And we are going to be very, very careful not to mention the exact location where we are. There's been quite a few issues with sort of vandalism and antisocial behaviour over recent years. So much so that the group that now own this church have had to put CCTV cameras up. So we are going to be very careful not to mention it, because we obviously don't want to promote people coming here and causing a nuisance. Can we just start by saying just how spooky and eerie this old cemetery is? Look at the age of some of these headstones. We'll go around and take a bit more of a look at them as we go. But when you're stood in the middle of nowhere in a place like this, it is so eerie. And look under this tree here. More headstones that have just been buried by the growth over year after year after year. That is just so creepy. And barely any of these headstones are even legible after all these years. And I think it's crazy just to think who and what is actually buried in this cemetery.
The graveyard actually contains war graves of a Labour Corps soldier, a Coast Guard of World War I, and a Merchant Navy sailor of World War II. But it'd be nice to be able to find the graves, but I don't think, like you just said, it's all very worn. You can't really read what's on them.
Yeah, I mean, an example, this is one of the most clearest ones that we've found so far. Look at that, just completely eroded away. Just look at the scene. Let's go and check out round here, see what we can find before we go inside.
The church actually dates back to the early 13th century as well, so you've got a lot of history there.
An awful lot of history, 13th century. And the church, as you've probably heard in the introduction, was made redundant in the 1970s. So has been left to sort of rot away since then. It has obviously now been taken over by a group that sort of do keep it going and look after it, and it is open to the public. The entire site is open to the public, so sort of frequented by dog walkers and I suppose people like us that like to vlog and visit cool, exciting places. But actually one of the reasons why we've come in the daytime or in the late afternoon while it's still light, one, so we can actually see what we're looking at, but two, this church has got quite an eerie and gruesome recent history. It's very popular with Satanists, devil worshippers, and there's been an awful lot of evidence found inside for animal sacrifices.
There used to be a pentagram on the floor that you could still see the bloodstains from inside the pentagram, but it looks like it's actually been dug up. There's just a little bit a bit of the floor, isn't they, where it's all the bricks have been turned up, and I can't see a pentagram, so I'm assuming that's where it was.
Only imagine that it's been removed, but imagine walking inside here at night, seeing lit candles and, you know, people dressed in robes, quite like us.
Dressed for the occasion.
You know, like doing these sacrifices on animals and God knows what else. You know, you can see why we wanted to come while it was sort of sunset.
It's such a beautiful place as well. It's just in the middle of nowhere, and it's surrounded by trees and wildlife. You can just hear just animals everywhere, can't you? You
can just hear yourself think. You really can hear yourself think. And when you're inside as well, we'll take you inside now. It's just so creepy, but you're always trying to work out exactly how it once looked. And inside this church, it's very, very difficult to do that because there's just not much left. It is almost the bare bones. So let's go and check it out. Let's go check this out. Wow. God, you can still see all the old detail in here. Like, oh. What was that? I mean, look at it, even after hundreds and hundreds of years. There's still bits that you can just still see exactly how it probably once was. And then you walk into here. Just take a look at that. How amazing. I don't think I've ever stood anywhere like this. It is so quiet, so peaceful, and yet such an atmosphere. You do feel quite easy, but at the same time, once you know what has sort of been happening in a building like this, it's so difficult not to be a little bit on edge. I think this is what Lee was talking about outside, potentially where the pentagram on the floor was, that's obviously now been dug up and sort of excavated to get rid of any kind of sign that it was ever here. How creepy. How does this make you feel standing in here?
It's definitely creepy. But like I say, I've been here before. I've been here in the daytime before. I've not been here properly at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just knowing all the stuff that's happened here, which makes it a bit more, I don't know, just makes you a bit nervous.
It honestly doesn't matter what you believe in. If you believe in the paranormal, ghosts, if you believe in demons and demonology, Satan worshipping, it doesn't matter. Regardless of your beliefs, when a building like this holds so much energy, it brings with it a huge atmosphere, and it's hard not to feel that little bit on edge, that you want to respect it, and that you just kind of want to come here with caution because, one, you don't quite know people that you might meet here.
I know, exactly.
Which is what we was worried about.
If anyone saw us walking in with these clothes on that we've got on, then I think people won't, they'll probably be like, we're not going in there.
But on the other hand of things, it's such an incredible building. Like the architecture from that period of time, it just stands out so much. And the fact that it is still standing today, since the 1300s, since being sort of abandoned and derelict for the last, 40 odd, 50 years. Yes, it's now just sort of a shell of a structure it once used to be, but it is still standing, and by and large, it is in really, really good shape. Let's go down here and check this out. I mean, I don't really have a lot of experience coming in churches, but it's quite difficult to see what a church layout would be. So it's not like I can walk through and say, this is where this would be, this is where that would be, but just like the flooring's still nicely intact. I know it's obviously breaking apart a little bit, but all the old coloration's still there, the old design's still there. And these little alcoves here, you've got such detailing with the little sort of coats of arms. Oh, some markings there. Markings like that can be seen all around. Like, oh, look at that. Lovely details still like this. This church was once believed to be one of the most haunted in the country.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to see how that was a wrong statement, because a lot of abandoned buildings always get that reputation, but abandoned sort of buildings of religion always hold that little bit.
A lot of paranormal groups do come here, especially on Halloween. I know a local group to us came here on Halloween and bumped into 3 or 4 others that were here as well at the same time.
It says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It says a lot. I believe a monk's been seen making his way out of this door into the cemetery, into the graveyard, and sort of walking down the side that way and disappearing just round that corner. Sort of noises and claps of thunder and lightning have been heard on still days where the weather's just been calm.
I want to know what this is over here, but I daren't touch it.
Let's go check it out then. Got to be careful, because obviously there are still tombs on the floor, and I'm assuming that they've been exhumed by now, but you still don't want to step on them just because of, you know, out of respect more than anything. But yeah, what is this? This is really weird. Let's put the camera up, see what we can see. I don't know what's in there, I can't see. Hopefully it's not a head looking back up at us.
Is it a sealed box?
No, it might have been sealed at one point, but
so
the lid's now been taken off it,
Okay.
yeah. We'll have to watch it back, because
Yeah.
I couldn't see
I
tilting the
don't wanna
camera in. But just look at it. It's such an incredible building. should go and check out the other graveyard now around the back of the church. It's starting to get a little bit darker now. We wanted to come at this time of day as well because we get the best of both. We get to see everything in the light, but then the longer we're here, the darker it gets, and then you really get that creepy feeling. I really don't know which graveyard looks sort of older, like that side or this side. I think they're both from two different periods. Wish you could have seen some more designs on the gravestones. I absolutely love sort of looking at who's buried, who they are, where they came from, how old they were. It's kind of a last story that people tell before they pass on. It's just so eerie yet so peaceful. What you can hear are the birds and the trees. Like, just pan around and look at it. Just amazing. So, according to many eyewitness accounts, the door we've just walked through there, exited the church from the back there, that is where the spirit of a monk is said to leave the church and then continue his walk right down the outside of this wall here, past the gravestones, and disappear around this corner. And when people sort of chase after to see where he might have gone, there's nothing. And obviously the only place that he could go is continue around there. And there's been many eyewitness accounts of this monk. We all know that monks and nuns are very sort of common sightings when it comes to paranormal in religious buildings like churches and monasteries. So we've not seen it yet, but we're going to stick around here for a little bit longer, so fingers crossed. If you can hear a sound in the background, you will have to forgive us. We are very close to a couple of RAF bases, and there is a RAF Typhoon Eurofighter circling the skies at the minute, so we can't help that. But yeah, we keep trying to get it in the right moments, but you might hear it.
Sort of adds to the effect a little bit. It sounds like thunder, doesn't it?
Yeah, thunder on a nice still day. Woo!
So like I said, this was built in the 13th century, but it did have some additions to it in the 14th and 15th century. And we just noticed that this, like next to this window over here, looks like it could have been a window before. So I wonder if that was where the window actually was in the 13th century when it was built, and then they've sort of moved it across. You can see the sort
just
of
the outline right there.
Yeah. To say, I love like the architecture of like these kind of buildings, and it just makes you wonder as well, like why, like what did why did they want to move a window? Do you think it was they needed double glazing?
Maybe needed double glazing. Stone glazing.
Glazing.
But that is always like the best features come into places like this. It doesn't matter how many times we walk around the building, each and every time something else stands out.
Just look
Like
how
just that bit there, there's another one of those little heads carved.
gargoyles.
It's just so amazing.
Like we're not religious at all, really, but we just appreciate so much the architecture, especially like the Gothic style buildings. It's so cool.
And also, just because someone isn't religious doesn't mean that they can't appreciate what religion does for others. You know, people come to churches not only, you know, to pray and sort of respect and worship what they believe in, but it's also for peace and for calm and
And a place for satanic rituals.
And a place for satanic rituals. Yeah?
Found it.
You've what?
Found it.
Oh,
Sailor graves.
let's go and have a look. I think Lee has just found the graves that we said we wanted to look for earlier. Oh wow, definitely. Poppy wreaths. That can usually only mean one thing.
So these are all, how many is there? 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
They're all sailors from World War II.
Wow. I'm going to be very careful where I'm stepping because I don't want to... Look at these. 1939 to 1945. Yeah, all the war sailors. Wow. How amazing that they've all sort of been laid to rest together. Like, that's such a mark of respect, but also for each to be buried with their comrades. They fought together, they died together, and now they're laid to rest together.
So there's no actual names on any of them, it's just a sailor. A sailor
of the 1939 to 1945 war. The SS Orsa, so it's got the name of the ship by the looks of it. Beautiful quality as well, these, compared to all the others. Oh, yeah. There is one. There's a name.
Oh, is there?
There's a name. I don't know military terms, unfortunately, but RJ MCP MacDonald, ordinary seaman, SS Orsa, aged 18. 18 years old. Imagine being 18, serving your country and losing your life, fighting for what was right.
Yeah, I saw the poppies. I was trying to see if there was any writing on those cards, but there's not, just lots of bugs.
It's definitely a giveaway with poppies in a graveyard like this, kind of untouched for all these years, and then there's a few bright red wreaths just sort of laid. That's unbelievable. There is really something quite haunting yet beautiful about it. The fact that they're all here together probably shows the greatest respect that they sort of could have wanted. Rest in peace, guys. So if anyone's watching that's actually been to this location that knows exactly where it is, then do let us know in the comments, preferably without sort of disclosing exactly where it is. But obviously if you're from the area, the local area, then you're definitely going to know just from looking at it exactly where we are. We are hoping to do a lot more sort of exploring videos, urbexing and the likes of, so if anyone has any ideas of where they'd like to see us go next, then that'd be great if you could just let us know. We are quite new to this part, so you know, any hints and tips and that would be gratefully received. But yeah, please leave a comment below if you know of this church, or if you're into sort of urban exploring yourself. That'd be great. Just found another little cemetery before you actually come into the main gate of the church. And it almost looks a little bit newer. These stones definitely look new. See if we can see who's on some of these. This is from year 2000. So some of these are definitely newer. I'm just trying not to get anywhere near to stepping anywhere near the graves. 1990. This is separate to the other graveyard, so there is a little bit of a dike down there where you can see through to the very old graveyard and the church, and then here. Oh my god, that is weird. What the heck? Oh my god, it's like an uncovered grave. It almost looks like it's in body form. Oh, I'm going to step away from that one. That is really weird. There's another one here, 2013. Oh, don't like that grave. I don't know if that has been dug up or if it's just sort of naturally formed with bad weather. Hopefully the latter, because the last thing you want is people coming here and tampering with people laid to rest. Who have we got here? A ghoul. Are these yours?
No.
What are they?
I think it's a headband.
Yeah.
Are they
Thought it was
yours?
a bit weird. No, they're not mine. I've already said it's not mine, I promise. What an absolutely wonderful place that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a gorgeous place.
Absolutely gorgeous. It's got a bit of everything. It has the atmosphere, but it also has the beauty and that sort of powerful energy as soon as you walk through.
It does. It's like as soon as you walk through the gates, it's like something changes in the air.
Really, really does. It's almost like the rest of the world doesn't exist for that one little moment. I mean, just look behind us.
Like
That is all.
surrounded.
It's in a square of woodland, and once you go through there, it's like a wall. And it takes you away to, I don't know, another dimension almost. It just feels so surreal in there. But what a wonderful, wonderful place.
I imagine it would be very scary when it's dark.
Absolutely, it would be horrendously scary, especially with all sort of the crows going mad and
Yeah.
anything sounds like a footstep, doesn't it, when it's quiet?
We didn't see anything paranormal. We didn't see any monks.
No monks, no demons.
But yeah, I forgot. It's known as the Demon Church, isn't it?
The Demon Church, exactly. Yeah, because of all the satanic rituals that go on there.
Yeah.
But we are losing the light now, unfortunately, so we're making our way back to the car.
And we don't want to be there when it's dark.
And we don't want to be there when it's dark.
I would love to actually do a proper paranormal investigation there. Not around Halloween because everyone goes there, but it would be cool to take some equipment and actually do it properly, although it would be terrifying
Yeah.
at the same time.
Well, we need to invest in some more equipment for ourselves anyway, like lighting and
Yeah.
stuff, because this camera unfortunately doesn't pick up light very well, which is why we're sort of having to leave now at sort of dusk. So, but hopefully you enjoyed watching. If you did, please make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe so you can sort of watch more of our videos.
Let us know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this as well. 'Cause
Definitely.
we love doing them as well, don't we?
Definitely. And as we mentioned in the last video, October is going to be a busy month for us filming and vlogging. So yeah, please try keep up to date, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Bye.